talked about supply chain, roasting.
Yeah.
Let's now talk about the end stage,
Yes.
and selling, and then the quality control at that point. So in your sales, what are the critical parameters of success apart from the machine supply?
The critical parameters of success would be brand recognition, and the fact that the consumer will recognize your brand and seek it out, and that becomes a massive. It's an undertaking that you need to make sure that your brand is fantastic, and you're getting the PR, and you're getting the word out there that you do have a good cup of coffee.
And so brand recognition. Your brand is Aroma Coffee?
That's right. Yes, correct.
So what is when I'm asking your typical client, what do you think of when I say Aroma Coffee? What would they answer me?
It's the best coffee. Well, they're using me because they believe that I can help them make more money in their coffee sales because of this coffees that I'm sourcing, the direct trade, the preventive maintenance that we're putting into place, the fact that we're producing very, very good quality coffee consistently. So it's a consistency thing more than anything else.
So will their clients ultimately also drink the coffee from an Aroma coffee cup?
Yes, absolutely. Well, we provide everything from cups to, as I say, cups, sauces, sugar. So most of my clients will be drinking either. Sorry, most of my clients will be drinking either in porcelain, branded porcelain cups or branded takeaway cups. So we provide takeaway cups is something that we don't provide. I mean, we sell, but they're fully branded, our cups. Yeah.
And so branding from that perspective
Yes.
helps you to get your message across, and
that social media as well about getting the message across. We actually just entered into an international, a national competition, but where they were inviting people from New Zealand and from Hong Kong and Singapore to submit coffees into a competition, and we won a few gold medals in this competition, and that in itself, well, we haven't really pushed that part of it yet, but that will help us with the marketing that we're going to use. That will help us to gain new clients.
So, and what do you, on that part of quality delivery,
Yes.
what do you do to help your clientele be successful?
Barista
training?
Well, absolutely. Barista training, we do have a dedicated training school in our factory. Barista training is a massive part of what's needed done there. But not just the barista training, as I said, we have one guy that only does customer service and support. So it's, an after-sales service where he's responsible to go in and make sure that the machine is running right. If a grinder needs to be adjusted, he will explain to the barista what needs to be adjusted and why. And then also if there's a problem with the machine, take the appropriate steps, whether it's temperature or stuff like that, to take the appropriate steps to make sure that it gets corrected. But the other thing we also do, which is quite a few, there's few of the coffee roasters do it, we actually have our own preventative maintenance program in place where a note will come up based on the volume of coffee that the clients are doing, and a note will come up on the to-do list in the system saying, well, this customer needs their coffee machine serviced. And generally what will happen is we'll call the client and say, well, your machine needs to be serviced, which afternoon suits you, or the technician will be there and they will do a full service, group seals, shower screens, whatever else needs to be done. We now also do on-site grinder blade replacements as well. So we kind of marry up the servicing with the whole, to do a whole package where it's a preventative maintenance, but also making sure that, as I said, the grinder blades are sharp and the machine's running, the temperature's running right.
So let's assume you sit at your last supper. Which cup of coffee would come with that supper?
I'm sitting at my last supper. Okay, which sorry.
Cup of coffee? From which country, which producer, variety?
Yeah, I would have to say it would probably be a natural grade 1 Ethiopian, a yoga chef. Maybe it would be a blend of a yoga chef and a Sidamo. Generally, I prefer to drink my coffee with milk, so I like the fruitiness and the intensity of flavor that's going to come around. But yeah, for me, it would be yoga chef or Sidamo.
And so the milk is essential, right,
yes.
for your quality experience.
Yes.
So what quality requirements are there for the milk, and can we also explore outside of the options that regular dairy milk offers us?
Well, absolutely. There was a big buzzword in Australia a few years ago about soy milk. I don't know if you have it here, there's a soy called bonsoi. And that then, for me, when I did some blind tastings, was the closest thing to milk that I had. But then bonsoi had an issue out of Japan, because bonsoi was being produced in Japan, and they actually recalled containers and containers of the soy milk, and I think it put people off a little bit. So for me now, I believe, and I've seen it here in the States as well, that alternative milks, whereas, I mean, I've seen it around here, nut milks, I actually make my own homemade almond milk at home, and been playing around with doing iced coffees and doing hot coffees, and I'm actually starting to enjoy alternative milks as well, because yes, depending on the overall flavor profile of the milk, but obviously the better quality milks will taste better. I mean, there's guys now that are seeking out, and I think it's almost illegal to do it, but are seeking out unpasteurized and unhomogenized milk. Are starting to use.
And so and how about some of the almond milk?
Well, as I say, I mean, okay. There's also now there's another milk in Australia from the Jersey cows, which is they call it an A2, and it's supposed to be better for lactose intolerant people. And it actually tastes better and lasts longer as well. Almond milk, as I say, will alter the flavor profile, but if that's something that depends on how strong the almond milk is. And then also, I guess we need to then evaluate and start testing with almond milks to see what's happening to the overall flavor profile as well. But and also, as I say, a wide variety of milks now. So, and also here in Australia, I mean, I didn't see it here when I was here, but low fat and skim milk is massive in Australia. I don't know how it is here, but it's. I mean, we went out today for a coffee in San Francisco, and they only had two milks. They had full cream milk and they had almond milk. And I said to her, "What happens to the people who want no fat milk?" No, well, tough. So yeah, it's. I guess the challenges are, as I said, tasting the coffees with the milk. But also, I mean, the biggest problem I have is that most of the milks that are being delivered to the supermarkets aren't being looked after properly. And the fats in them, if the milk hasn't been looked after properly, the milk starts degrading very quickly, and the fats in the milk change, and it tastes. I can pick up a coffee and say there's something, like, I won't even taste the coffee if there's something wrong with the milk. It's like, no, there's something wrong with this milk, let's go and get some fresh milk. So, and a better quality milk. So I can walk into the factory, and if there's milk that's 3 or 4 days old, I probably won't even, I'll have a black coffee. So yeah, the freshness in the milk is very, very important.